digital age that we live in, there are two devices that are pivotal to the way we work and play. The first is, of course, our mobile phones. The second is our computer, whether that be a laptop, notebook or PC. All are extremely important to our lives. However, one thing we don't hear a lot about is computer servicing. Today we're at IT Black Spot in Bunbury talking with owner and manager Clinton Black regarding computer maintenance. Hi Clinton, thanks for your time today.
No worries.
Clinton, can you please tell me a bit about why we should service our computers?
Well, you can relate a computer to a car in almost every way. We use computers probably more than cars, so you think about how many hours a day they're turned on, so how many programs you put on them, and so on and so on. You service your car basically every year religiously. So to answer the question why you should service your computer, because obviously computers get slower over time, and the more you use it, the more stuff is going to be put on there. So yeah, it's a really good idea to service a computer when you need it.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm sure like you, I constantly receive emails from internet-based companies trying to sell me PC tune-ups and make your computer 20 times quicker at the click of a button. What's the difference between these online options and the computer servicing that you offer at IT Black Spot?
Those programs that, those internet providers or people from the internet tell you that they're absolutely fantastic, they'll do your computer. There's no two computers exactly the same. I've had issues with computers, having two brand new computers, they're exactly the same make, models, year of make and all that stuff. Trying to install the same program on both of them, one worked fine, one corrupted. So there's no one program that's actually going to fix everything. Yeah. So the difference with our service is we customise our service to match the computer and to match how it's being used. So our rule of thumb is the KISS principle. We've just got to keep it simple and go back to basics. I've seen too many of those programs, those speed up utilities we call them, corrupt and break computers. They just make things worse because they can't make that program for hundreds of thousands of different types of computers in the world, so they need to be suitable for them. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's almost like some of the other things that you put onto your computer that say install a taskbar or a new search item and those sort of things. Mm-hmm. I try and back away from them. Is that the right thing to be doing, or do we install everything that they ask us to? Over time, after you install a few programs, you get to realise what extra bits and pieces most programs are trying to put onto your computer. Some people actually like those toolbars. Yep. So the way I see it is, if you're going to use it, put it on there. If you are not sure, rule of thumb with the computers, if you're unsure of what it's going to do, don't do it, because personally I like my computer working. If I'm unsure of something that's going to happen, so then that I'm not sure what's going to happen if I install something, then I normally just don't do it. So then, again, it's the KISS principle. Yeah. So but again, if you've heard of other people using those toolbars, if you've got questions about anything at all, give us a call anytime. That's like, talk to someone in the know. Yeah. So it's like, a bricklayer sort of thing. If you want to build a wall and you're not sure how deep the foundation needs to be, you normally ring up one of your mates who's a brickie and say, how deep do I dig the hole? Yeah, you don't just go on YouTube, do you? Yeah. Clinton, as you know, I bought my computer into you recently because it was broken. Mm-hmm. I wanted to throw it out the window. But in fact, all it really needed was a service. What can actually go wrong with your computer if you don't regularly service it, as well as it slowing down? Are there any major things that can happen? One of the worst things that could happen is the overheating. You know, when you turn a computer on, the majority of them you can actually hear the fans working inside. They're basically, a computer needs to run cool. It's just like a car. Cars have radiators to try and keep the motor cool, and obviously if you keep the motor cooler, it's going to run much better. Computers are exactly the same. So the worst thing that could happen is basically a computer overheating and cooking the engine, and then basically you've got to replace the engine. In the computer world, as you know, computer prices are coming down constantly. If the CPU is what geeks call it, something, we call it the motor of the computer. If that basically blows up, that's the main cost of a computer. Like you're looking at these days about $350, $400 for one of those, and then you got the time to actually replace it as well. So again, that's the worst thing that could happen. The majority of cases are basically computers slowing down over time, because you're using them all day, every day. Computers have memory in them. Caching, you might have heard, some people might have heard it. A computer service will basically wipe all that, so you've got a clean slate and everything just writes to the C drive or the hard drive or the computer itself, and just works a lot quicker.
So is that like all the cookies and that sort of thing you pick up when you're browsing throughout the internet and that sort of thing?
Yep, your cookies. Basically, if you install a program and uninstall a program, that same program, you'll actually leave some files on your computer after you've installed it. It doesn't actually wipe everything. There's a thing called the registry, which is, I suppose, in regards to a computer, you can call that the timing of the distributor cap inside a motor. So the thing, I don't really understand it. I just know I don't know how to change it, stuff like that, but it just does something to the motor. So registry settings, you can actually make one setting change in the registry, and it'll actually break a computer. So that needs to be working at its optimum to have a computer working nicely as well.
So to keep a computer clean, so to speak, how often should you service your computers?
Again, that's a really hard one. Like, I can't just say every 12 months or every 6 months or every 2 years, because every computer is different. Every computer is used differently. Every computer is, now these days with the laptops and stuff, are transported differently. Again, the KISS principle, rule of thumb, if you're having issues with it, if it's slowing down a bit, then that's the time to do it. Some people need it done every 6 months. I see clients coming in, or we go out to their premise and actually service the computers on site. Other people every 2 years, 3 years, but on average you're looking at about 12 to 18 months, somewhere around there.
Okay. When you spoke about the transportation, like your laptops and that kind of thing, have you got any tips for us on how we should actually transport our portable computers?
Protect them. That's it. Computers don't like being thrown around. There's inside an actual computer or a laptop, it's not majorly fragile, but there are little bits and pieces inside a computer that don't like to be moved or banged or anything like that. You've got military grade stuff that you can put inside a computer now that you can throw it around. One major thing is what they call a solid state hard drive. That's like your C drive. In normal ones that you get now, there's actually moving parts inside there. They've now developed ones that have no moving parts, so it's solid state, so you can throw that around, but they're very, very expensive. So the average user doesn't have that. So again, KISS principle, rule of thumb, just look after them.
Just put it in a bag.
Put it in a bag, yep, definitely.
Unfortunately, computers are not like taking your car to the mechanics, in that you can just get a courtesy car to drive around while it's being fixed up. How long will you typically be without your computer for an average service, understanding that not all computers are the same and some things need a bit longer?
On average, you're looking at about 24 to 48 hours. That's on average. We understand that businesses, they are 9 to 5 or they're 24 hours a day, and basically a computer makes them money. So we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right? So I have businesses dropping stuff off at Friday afternoon on 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it'll be ready by Sunday. So ready for when they open back up on Monday. That's like, to us, we understand business. We understand that computers are an essential part now of your business to have it running. But on average, in regards to the timeline, 24 to 48 hours to have a really good service of your computer.
I think that time is well spent, considering how long you have to wait for things to open up and everything else once it's slowed down.
And if you add up the amount of time that you wait in front of a computer, waiting for things to happen, if you can reduce that amount of time, then you've got more time to go outside and kick the footy or
do normal stuff. In the very unlikely event that I get home and the computer's still not working or it's still slow, what can we do?
So this is after having
having it serviced,
What we do after we've given a computer a service, we'll normally set it up in shop. So when you come and collect it, you can actually have a go and make sure that you're happy with it. If something does happen and you take it home, turn it on, and it doesn't work the way that you wanted it to, then we basically guarantee our service. So if you're not happy with it, then we won't charge for it. We'll actually redo it. To me, if you paid for a car service and you drive it out of the shop and it backfires and stalls and you got to push it back into the shop, obviously something has gone wrong and they haven't done it right, so they should be basically fixing up what they hadn't done. We're exactly the same. We understand that you're paying for a quality service, so that's what you'll actually receive. You'll receive a quality service which is guaranteed.
Beautiful. Well, you've made a lot of analogies to car servicing. You've convinced me that I've got to service our computers a lot more regularly. So I'll put a note in my diary to get them serviced. Thanks very much, Clint. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all your insight.
Anytime.
Cheers.
IT Blackspot has an offer for all clients of Supreme Chauffeur Driven clients. We are now offering $25 off, which is one of these vouchers. Okay, so if you come in and actually mention Supreme when you're booking in your computer service, we'll give you $25 off your computer service until the end of the year.